Jodie Chesney had no connection to gangs.
We wasn't doing anything wrong, we wasn't bothering no one, we didn't have no arguments.
She was stabbed in the back as she sat in a park with friends.
It's ruined our lives. It's literally taken away everything. Our lives basically ended as we know it that night.
She died on her father's birthday.
She popped to Edwina Bannister and said, "Happy birthday, Dad." I said, "Cheers, darling." Gave her a kiss. I went off to work. She was later murdered that night.
Only one person attacked Jodie, but 2 young men were found guilty of killing her. Drug dealer Svensson Ongakwi and a 17-year-old who can't be named because of his age. On the day of the killing, Ongakwi met with another drug dealer, Manuel Petrovic, at a cafe in Romford. Their phones were their livelihoods, drug lines to reach hundreds of customers, linking both the men. Jodie hadn't known them and they didn't know her. As it started to get dark, she'd walked to the park with friends. The only link, one of the group had cancelled an order of cannabis from Ongakwi when it didn't turn up, saying they'd order it from another dealer instead.
We was always taking stupid photos and sending each other stupid photos. This was her getting stuck in some gym equipment.
Clarice Sharp, Jodie's close friend, was there that night.
Everyone was laughing, joking, listening to music. Yeah, then it just, I don't know, out of nowhere it just changed.
At 9:20 in the dark, Ongakwi and the 17-year-old were filmed walking across to where Jodie and her friends were. Petrovic and the 16-year-old had dropped them off in his car, and seconds after Jodie had been stabbed, they raced down the road to pick them up.
I could see Jodie quickly turn, and then there was just screams, and it was very high-pitched, in pain screams. And because it was so dark, we couldn't see. We couldn't see what had just happened. We couldn't properly see if the people were still around, if they'd left, who came and done it. And I checked her back and there was just blood. One of our friends started to scream, "Help, please, someone help." None of us really knew what to do. We was just trying to make sure she stayed awake. Obviously that didn't happen, but we was trying our best.
Jodie never made it to hospital. A single stab wound 18 centimetres deep almost passed through her body. She was dead an hour later. Detectives believe she was the innocent victim in a drugs turf war. As forensic teams swept the area to try to find her killer, Ongakwi returned to where he lived to pick up fresh trainers. He'd burnt the clothes he wore that night. It isn't possible to categorically say who stabbed Jodie, and in court, Ongakwi and the 17-year-old both blamed each other.
The wound that Jodie suffered was horrific, and you can't do that sort of thing without thinking that you're going to kill someone. Will the family ever find out why? I don't think so.
Both were no strangers to violence. This was Ongakwi the September before, jumping off a motorbike to join in a fight with 2 other boys. The 17-year-old was also there. He'd been following in a car. It's claimed he got out and stabbed one of the boys in the neck.
I won't tell you what I'm thinking looking at that guy in the dock. One side, I want to listen to what he's got to say for himself, and another side, I want to tear his head off, you know?
We have lost someone beautiful. And so is the world.
You like it?
This was the video Jodie's family played at her funeral. Talented and kind, a young life needlessly cut short.
Beautiful.